Hey bye. So I'm gonna talk about I want to do a little review of the 2012 film The Avengers. Yeah, so believe it or not, besides the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, just Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight trilogy stuff, like The Avengers was the first Marvel, it was the first superhero film I've seen in theaters ever. So that was the hype was real when that was first came out. I didn't watch that film right away. I was obviously in school back then. I went at a random weekend. Anyways, I went. Was it summer, right? Or something? I don't know. I went with my cousin of mine, so I watched the film. I was just I hadn't even to do that day. Anyways, that film was amazing. That film was really amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was we started out with Loki and causing so much mayhem pretty much in the Bedford thing, headquarters thing, pretty much. Which turns out there was a gem Marvel reference. Hawkeye was pretty much he got brainwashed, and it made sense why he was brainwashed. I didn't wasn't too big a fan of that, but I see why they did. I see why they did that. I feel like there was a lot of made sense why that film had to do so much with that character. We see that Nick Fury is drawing towards he's talking to Steve about that Loki is after the Tesseract and he stole it pretty much, and he wants to get back. And we see that there was this, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's two deleted scenes I find interesting. One of them involving Steve about he's going New York, everything's familiar with him, everything's a little unfamiliar with him, but he's starting to get used to it. And there's this part where he's on train, was going that way, but he was facing the other direction. So it's a visual of him moving forward but still looking back pretty much. That's what it feels like. There's another lead scene with Maria Hill where she's talking about the aftermath of Avengers in New York and stuff like that. And that was a really great scene. I don't know why they didn't chop that. I really loved that film. It was short at that scene, it felt like this was serious in a way. So I don't know why they didn't have that lead scene. That scene was in two parts. It was in the beginning of the movie and also in the end of the film. We see that Natasha Romanoff, she sees Bruce Banner pretty much. She wants to talk about. They get to know each other a little bit more, and by talking to each other, Bruce finds out that he learns that Natalie was Natasha Romanoff. She was really young when she started being a spy in some way. Bruce has had that incident ever since. And that was really shows that he's been more cautious of what he does. We see that Agent Coulson is talking to Tony and Pepper about the Avengers initiative and stuff that Tony and Fury were talking to each other about in Iron Man 2, where he qualified, but he didn't qualify in a way. So yeah. And also, his name is Agent. That was funny. Then we see Loki wanting to steal some plutonium or something. Oh, something. Steve dresses up Loki, and Iron Man shows up to capture him. We see that basically Thor shows up eventually, and then Thor is upset with Loki because Thor thought Loki was dead pretty much, and there was I like the conversation of those two really well. that scene was really dark. Like, I don't know why I didn't do interaction and such. Oh, yeah, that's really weird that they did that. I really like that conversation Loki had with Black Widow, pretty much. And the fact that Black Widow tricked Loki in the way she was trying to find out what's his plan. And I really like them teaming up with each other, Tony and Steve, pretty much, when they were trying to fix the bit powder. Oh my gosh, I'm losing words. They were trying to figure out a way to keep the shield airship floating, pretty much. I love the conversations they had in the lab and how they were trying to how against Tony and Steve were with each other, and then Tony also talks to Bruce about how his dad, Howard, spoke about Steve and how great Steve was. And, yeah, so it's kind of interesting how they thought with Tony and Steve, the way they are. You see how I really enjoyed seeing that conversation Tony had with Bruce, and that's at Tuesday alone. Then I would morning at 10. And you guys hear it in the background with the conversation Tony and Bruce have with each other. About how things go wrong, and Tony had to, have that reactor on his chest, and the story he had, the things he said about Tony, about Tony's reactor, that was really great that he spoke to Bruce about that. And yeah, there was like a lot of great things that they done. When we see that Black Widow she's trying to fight Hawkeye, pretty much, and he gets back to normal to talk to each other about the job's not done yet and such. And then Steve meets the doll assemble, pretty much, and then they have that great moment with the go around and sit on that. That was a really great shot. Really one time. The action was really pretty good. I really like how they showed each character's strengths and weaknesses within this film. We see that the World Security Council wants to do things their way, and Fury isn't having it. And they control S.H.I.E.L.D. pretty much. So they send it out. They want to end the Chitauri, and Tony he withdraws, and he goes to we see him and he grabs the missile in, and he goes to space pretty much. It's kind of weird that when knowing that we know now that Nick Fury didn't page Captain Marvel in any way, she probably would have been really far off in space, but we wouldn't know that. So yeah, it makes sense. I feel like Nick wanted to see his team to handle it. Nick Fury says to the World Security Council that the Avengers his team. I feel like the Avengers did their own team in a way, especially that Steve finds out that Nick Fury is using hydro weapons as phase 2 and such. So that was like very interesting, that the team with Fury doesn't have enough trust to tell the Avengers what their phases are and what's going on in S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff. So it's really interesting seeing how the conflict they have with Steve and Nick Fury's conflict is with knowing what's going on with, especially with stuff that Steve has seen and dealt with in the 40s. We see that feels like Steve was upset with Nick Fury because he didn't is that they gets give me secrets from him. So yeah. But something that is very fascinating about this film is that I feel like this film is really iconic in its own special way. It's a really amazing film. I feel like Joss Whedon really did well with this film, directing it. I really feel like the way they introduced these characters was really well thought out and really great. I felt like there was a lot of things going on here that with rewatching to we learn more about these characters we know of so well. So yeah. What I was thinking about, the Battle of New York, then should I like how they did that? Knowing what we know now, because Civil War, we see that there is enslavement from home that they have to they did clean up after themselves, and they trusted like a big disaster that pretty much, which wasn't their fault, was Loki's, but them seem it would have been far worse if the Avengers didn't intervene pretty much. So yeah. Alright, let me know where I stand. Here's the other MCU reviews I've done, and yes, you can subscribe here. So yeah. Alright.